All right, beautiful people, welcome to the channel. This is going to be an exciting call. We are going to have a fun little co-build together today. I have a call with a client today and I wanted to put something together for him. And I've been thinking I'm going to be doing this a lot more, doing some fun co-builds, how I'm playing around with AI, how I'm utilizing it for my businesses, and the things that I want to share with you guys within this channel. I always find to really get good at something, it's best that I teach it. It's what I do with my mastermind. If I want to implement principles in my life, I run them and I philosophize with my mastermind around these ideas, around these principles, and it helps me understand them in greater detail. So that's my intention here with AI. So what we're going to build today is it's going to be a dashboard. It's going to be a productivity X effectiveness dashboard. So I have a client that I have a call with, and I wanted to put this together for him because after our first month of working together, he was able to increase his effectiveness. So as we continue to work together, we are going to track his effectiveness. So this video is going to be really simple. I want to give you guys a practical way on how to utilize coding, how to utilize AI to create cool shit to make your life easier. So I'm going to explain my process. I'm kind of just going to build this almost as if you guys weren't even here, but talk through my process as I go throughout it. If you have questions as I'm going throughout this, you could always drop them in the comments below. But the first thing that we want to do, so we're in our beautiful Claude here. Usually I would be working in anti-gravity just because I like to have multiple agents working at once and to have visibility. I find it's easier for me to do that within a software like this, anti-gravity. But because a lot of you could be new to AI, I am just going to stay within Claude here because we're only going to be using one chat today. So whenever I start a prompt, I want to get clear on what it is that I want. So we want a beautiful KPI dashboard, and what is the intention? So I'm just going to go ahead and fire off a initial prompt here with my beautiful Whisper flow. I actually use Glido from the infamous Jack Roberts, but here we go, and we'll go from here. Hey there, fella. What I would like us to do is build out a beautiful KPI dashboard for one of my clients. I want to make this universal so we can use it for many clients. So it's not going to just be for one person, but within this, I want us to track productivity X effectiveness. So this is, I talk about this a lot within our folders here. So you could probably find some information within our folders around the productivity X effectiveness scale. But essentially what I want us to track within this is how many hours did we work in this day? How many calls did we make? How many deals did we get over the finish line? And then I also want to make this adjustable for certain industries. So right now we're speaking with someone who's in high ticket sales. That's what I want to build this out initially for, but I want to also make this available for other people. Ask me any questions that you need so we can clarify this. And my intention is to get a beautiful HTML file that we can make edits and that we can add our calls into. So I want this to be able to update live in front of us. We'll send that bad boy over. So it's kind of a longer video, but that's okay. I always like to give more detail. This is extreme intelligence. Now, I am actually going to switch to Opus 4.8. I'm not going to use Fable. We only have a couple more days of Fable. So by the time you watch this video, we probably won't have Fable available. So we want to go ahead and just send that bad boy. And we will give it a few seconds here. Now, this is one thing I focus on all the time. So especially nowadays with all the distractions that we have, it's like, how effective are you? You could be productive, right? Like you could bang out work, you could make calls, but how effective are you within those hours? Because life is beautiful, man. Life is beautiful. And I want to be really effective in everything that I do so I can have more life. I want to be the guy, and I've always been like this. I want to be the guy that can get done in 2 hours what would take most people 8 hours. So therefore, now I have 6 hours of my day that I can continue to build or do anything, or I can just go chill. I can go relax. Like, to me, that's freaking exciting. That's what we do within this. So everything that we focus on in life can fall into this. We can use this KPI dashboard for anything. It's like, okay, how do I get more effective with hanging out with friends? Right? Maybe I schedule things in advance so I can have more time. You ever catch yourself on a Friday night and you're like, damn, I should have planned something for this Friday. I'm bored. I've been working all week. I didn't plan anything. Got to get effective with your scheduling and your friends and your times. So that's just one example, but we can utilize the productivity x effectiveness scale for anything. All right, we'll give this a few minutes while we wait here. All right, all right. So we are back and we have a couple questions. So what's one row in the dashboard, a whole day or a single call? Good question. So one row per day recommended. So each row a day, you enter total hours worked, calls made, deals closed. I like that. They usually have good recommendations. Should the data save so it's there when you reopen the file? Absolutely. Do you want an auto-calculated effectiveness score or just the raw numbers? Auto effectiveness score, absolutely. Who's entering the data and switching industries? You, the coach, or the client? You know what? I'm gonna have this client facing because I'm gonna give this to you guys. I'm gonna have this repo down below. So if you guys want this, I'll be able to send this to you after. So I'm gonna have a client facing so you guys can adjust this to your liking. Bada boom, bada boom. Give that a couple minutes, see what it has. Drink some of this beautiful coffee here. I am here in Colombia, Medellin, Colombia. So you already know the coffee here is absolutely fantastic. I'm curious if you guys have been, if you're on this video and if you've been implementing AI, go ahead and share down below. Let me know how you've been utilizing it. Is this easy for you, what I'm doing? Or are you kind of how I was 4 months ago that I didn't even know I could do anything like this? So here we go, locked in, client-facing daily self-tracker. One row per day, saves in the browser, auto-effectiveness score, industry swappable, high-ticket sales first, single self-contained, beautiful HTML file. Double-click to open, works offline, no internet needed. That's pretty unique. How cool is that, guys? Layer at the bottom, header, client name, editable, industry, drop-down, bada. This week's card, trend strip, okay. The effectiveness score. Okay, this is your call. The score is what makes yours versus a generic trapper. My proposed default is 60 points. So results per effort, deals plus calls plus scaled against hours. So no grinding, 12 hours for one deal. Score lowers than closing it in 4 rewards effectiveness, not busyness. 40 points discipline, plus 10 each from morning window, night window, followed up, no scroll. So a peaceful design, discipline, high close day beats a frantic grind day and exactly the abundance and peace point. Question, does that 60-40 results per effort versus discipline split feel right? Hey there, fella. I want to make this more about just the numbers. I don't want to go into what they're actually doing on a daily basis. I want to make this tracked by just their actual numbers. So hours worked, how many deals they got, how many calls they made, just very simple. So it's going to be numbers based. Send that bad boy into there. I don't want this to be, I just want something that we can look at to get real numbers. All that other stuff, the morning routine and protecting those windows, that's not important with this. This is truly just like, okay, how effective are you? And then from there, we can kind of diagnose. So this is just the brutal truth. I want something super simple, just the brutal truth. Give that a couple seconds. All right, clean, bada boom. Killing the whole behavior, discipline there, no checkbox, hours worked, calls made, deals closed, notes. Brilliant. Quick calls before I guild. Keep the auto score effectiveness score, yeah, for sure. Add a revenue column, your high ticket dollars. Yeah, I like that. Adding a dollar or per close, so you can kind of track your exact numbers, your CAC and everything there. I like it a lot, Claude. Give this a couple seconds while it brews. All right, guys, and we are back. I mean, look how freaking cool this is. Just right away. I mean, it's not the most gorgeous thing in the world. We could have done a little bit better with the colors and all that, but we can make some changes here. All right. This is what we have. I'm gonna make some changes here. So this is what we got. Numbers only. Effectiveness score 0 to 100, auto ratios per day, trend strip, industry drop down, export import. Okay. Hey there, fella. This looks good, but what I want to do is I also want to track this on a monthly basis. So I want to make it clear that we can put in our numbers from the past month and this month, so we can also look at this from a monthly standpoint. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Also, I want to make this a little bit more beautiful. Why don't you add some Baroque style art to this to make it really beautiful, really nice, really easy on the eyes. When we go this, we feel excited. We feel fired up about getting better and increasing our effectiveness here. And then what I also want to do is, instead of just calls made, I want to say calls taken on the calendar. So hours, calls taken on my calendar. So these would be appointments sat in, because a lot of our high ticket closers are not making calls. They're actually just sitting in appointments all day. But we want to have that calls made column, because oftentimes there'll be a no-show appointment. And then within that time, they want to be able to track, okay, this is the time to make calls. So how can I track that? Because that'll increase their effectiveness. Hope that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. Important when you're done talking AI, hey, let me know if you have any questions. So we'll go ahead and fire up that bad boy. Give that a couple minutes here. All right, understood. Coming back in divine fashion. Got a 3 changes monthly view, not just day. Renamed to calls taken, appointments sat, while keeping calls made as a separate column for dials during shows. And Baroque gold ornamentation to feel it luxe and firing you up. There we go. Rewriting that file now. Perfect. So we'll give that a couple minutes here. The beautiful thing about AI, guys, is you can just share whatever is going on up here. You can just share it with AI. You can share it with your Claude. You can let it know what it is that you want to build, and then you can kind of ping pong back and forth and create some really cool stuff. And the key is you want to make sure you actually utilize this stuff. So this is a really good example. This productivity x effectiveness scale, this is going to be some daily accountable that we can have in our lives. It's like, okay, I don't want to let down my KPI track and productivity x effectiveness sheet later. So maybe I shouldn't scroll on Instagram between my calls. I want to get a good score tonight. So let me do more work. And this is really just going to help you maximize your effectiveness. So we'll give this a few more minutes here, guys, while we wait for our friend here. All right, so we are almost ready here. And just how cool is this, guys? This is building all this out where we're sitting here having our beautiful coffee, just relaxing, looking at this amazing view, just watching this video. And it's building something that's going to make us more money, that's going to make our lives easier, that we're actually going to utilize and implement. This is staying true to the productivity x effectiveness, is finding things that we can utilize to make our lives easier and make us more efficient. I mean, this is just on point with the principle. AI really falls into place with the productivity x effectiveness scale. It looks like we are almost ready here. And one thing that I really love about AI, I've always kind of been this way with school and with things that I've done before. I've been good at delegating tasks that I did not want to do. Especially in school growing up, I got by with my words because there was stupid little things. It's like, I don't get why I'm going to do this. I don't think this is going to help my intelligence. So I'm just going to learn how to get around this and delegate it. And AI is just absolutely perfect for that. These little minute tasks that you want to do, like code and type all this out and take all this time, you just have AI do it, and then you can just kind of focus on high leverage direction, which is really, really cool. There's this story, and AI is a good example of how to utilize this, but there's this story of a bunch of guys chopping down a freaking forest, wapa wapa wapa, and then one person's like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna climb the tallest tree just to make sure we're going in the right direction. So he goes up, he climbs the big tree, and he yells down to everybody, hey, we're going the wrong way. And everyone's like, can't hear you, too busy chopping. I think sometimes in life we get like that. We get too busy chopping down the tree that we forget to take a step back and look and make sure we're going in the right direction. AI is a good example of that. So, okay, so what do we got? We got some questions here. So, demo data is on the screen. Open the file yourself for it to. Oh, look at this. This is just beautiful. Look how cool this is. Just a couple little easy. And now we can go back from daily to monthly. This is freaking awesome. Well, that button's not working. We'll have to fix that. So these are the tools, all-time tools made. All right, this is what we're gonna do. All right, fella, great job. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna implement some real numbers here. Now we don't have all the information, but I wanna make it so this KPI dashboard is easily trackable. So my client, Brian, he did 171,000 cash collected in the month of May while taking 111 calls. Now, June, he did the same amount, 171,000 in cash collected while taking 80 calls. Now, what I want you to do is put both of these months within this beautiful KPI dashboard and then show us how much his effectiveness increased from May to June. So we'll throw that in. And what's cool is sometimes if you're confused about like how it put this out, like right now, there's almost a little bit too much going on. So we got to make this a little bit easier on the eyes. So we'll actually utilize it, which is totally okay. But just share with it. Let it know like, hey, this is my numbers. Put that in the KPI dashboard. Do it for me. Sometimes AI, you have to remind it. It's like, hey, because it starts to ask you to do stuff. It starts to ask you to do more stuff. It's like, listen, Charlie, you do that. Why don't you do that? AI, why don't you go into my computer and do this thing for me? Organize these folders for me. And it's like, oh yeah, I can do that. Okay, let me do that. Sometimes our Claudes get what we call chat rot. I believe that's what it is, or whatever it may be. If that ever happens, you just go over here and you type in what is the word I'm looking for? Command dash compact. So if you ever feel like you're getting a little bit of rot in here, you just compact everything and this will just bring it all, squeeze it all together so it frees up some space. And you'll be able to tell that by this guy right here. See this number? This is your context window. So if your context is over here, this guy's probably getting a little bit tired, so you might want to compact that down if you're not done working on the task at hand. Just a cool little trick that you can check out while you are in here playing around. And if sometimes it gets a little bit slow, that is most likely the reason why. All right, so look how cool this is. So we got Brian's monthly view. His effectiveness went from a 62 in May to an 86 in June. That's a huge jump. And just from this alone, so this does all this math for us. So calls taken 111, cash 171, rev per call is $1,500. Now, what I'm going to talk about with Brian is, bro, every time you hop on a phone call, that's $1,500 right there. That's how much these calls are worth to you. Excuse me, that was the past. Now it's getting up to $2,138. So every time he hops on a phone call, it's a $2,000 phone call. And this is going to continue to increase over time. Okay, so to get to elite. All right. So let's open up the dashboard. Let's see what we got. So Brian's effectiveness plus 24. This is on the monthly. And what will go in, revenue 171. So his effectiveness trend, this is May 26, June 26. So it's going to continue to show this as time and months go on so you can see what this is. And now today we can continue to add more metrics into here. This is just so freaking cool, guys. Super simple. And then now you can just go in. Should be able to just click into the daily. And I'll just ask, hey there, fella, for some reason I cannot click from daily to monthly within the KPI dashboard. Let me know what's going on and please fix that. Simple as that. We'll get that fixed so we can come back and forth. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This is pretty much it. This is just how simple, how awesome AI is to be effective with. So if you enjoyed this video and you want this repo, I'm just going to go ahead and drop it there down below. Enjoy it. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. And I look forward to connecting with you guys on the next video. Bye.